What's going on, guys? Welcome to Own the Chaos. And what the heck? This is the second week in a row. Me having an impromptu live Q&A. Coming to you tonight, though, with much better spirits than the last impromptu live Q&A to talk about the TradeNet challenge. Now, this is really going to apply to only those of you who are a part of the TradeNet challenge, the World Series of Day Trading. But I thought that this was just going to be the easiest way to reach out to everybody who's involved in that and just to kind of answer any of your questions. But if you are new to the channel, I'd still invite you to subscribe. I go over all kinds of other stuff as it relates to the stock market and also entrepreneurship. So if you're interested in just getting out of that 9 to 5 seat, well, go ahead and give me subscribe and check out the barcast that just came out today. Shout out to Jeff with the most epic toast of all toasts I've ever seen. If you have not seen one episode of the barcast, I promise you, just go watch it, because I've never seen anybody holding a goat and giving a toast with a bottle of Jaeger ever in my entire life, and I'm still peeing my pants laughing every time I get to watch that. So check out the barcast. Lots of entertainment to be had there, as well as some inspiring messages that we like to give on the barcast as it relates to being an entrepreneur and being your own boss. So go check that out. As I'm letting Jeff totally wins. Yeah. As I'm letting some people roll in here. So I know that it's not usually one of those times that I go live. So I'm just going to give it a little bit more time to let some folks roll in. But yeah, let me just welcome some folks here. What's going on? Alan, Tex, Mark, my usual suspects. Good to see you guys. Who's excited for this TradeNet challenge, right? So just to kind of give you a little bit of a backstory, we decided to work with TradeNet. TradeNet decided to work with us a little bit after they basically executed the new installment of the World Series of Day Trading. And we are technically an unofficial team. So we are the largest unofficial team for TradeNet, for the World Series of Trading. So kudos to you guys. I'm super pumped for that. So we have opportunity to win a whole kinds of prizes for We Trade HQ. So I'm super excited for that, super pumped. This is my first time doing it. This is a lot of our first times doing it. But I wanted to kind of answer some questions as they came along. I'll go ahead and share my screen with you guys in just a sec as I let some more folks roll in. I'm not expecting a whole ton of people. So, I just kind of wanted to share my screen. I do have the World Series of Day Trading paper account pulled up for you guys so that you can kind of take a look at it if you've never viewed a TradeNet platform before. That way you can kind of at least try to get yourself familiar with it. I'll give you some more tips and tricks that I've found to kind of help guide me, and that should help guide you to be a more efficient, because there's I wouldn't say a lot. There's some limitations on certain stocks that you can and cannot trade. So we're going to discover how you figure that out, and all that good stuff. So I'm excited. This is going to be good. I think it's going to be fun for a lot of us. Even if we don't win anything, or even if you don't win anything, I think it's going to be a great learning experience. So, cool. So we got a few people in here. Like I said, I'm not expecting a whole ton. I know it's a weird time of the day, weird time that I don't usually go live, so I'm not expecting a whole lot of people. Hopefully, if anybody has any questions, this is just kind of an opportunity for me to be here, go check out this video. I've already got it set up for you. So, we'll have that all taken care of. So I'm actually going to pull up the TradingView platform for you guys. Let me see something real quick. So I'm going to pull up the TradingView platform for you guys here and switch my screen. So if you guys can see here, this is not TradingView, TradeNet platform that I have pulled up here for you. Now, if you sign in, you get yourself logged in, you create your password after you download the TEFS Trader platform. Just go to an account. This is how you can tell that you're in a World Series of Day Trading. Obviously, you can see that acronym right there, WSTD, yada, yada, yada. And so this is where you'll see this. Right now, it says all my market value and is zero. Everything is zero right now, right? But that's because competition has yet to have started. Once it starts, everybody will have $240,000 to start off with. Okay, 240K. And so, and you know, there's lots of rules to go along with this. We've kind of gone over all of those, but what I wanted to do was just kind of open it up for questions. If anybody had any questions, anything, any sort of confusion on whether what you can or can't do, JM, no, you can't buy Pred. So that's the other thing. So you can't buy penny stocks with TradeNet. This is an opportunity for you to be able to, trade big board stocks on a leveraged account. And, you know, it's for fun. Obviously, this doesn't cost you anything if you're in here already, unless you already bought the package, which Bob Shark 181 has already bought. So, yeah, so it's pretty good stuff. And I'm sure there's probably some things that maybe you guys can show me as well. I'm still relatively new to the platform. I've only been messing around with TradeNet for about 2 months. So it hasn't been that long for me. So if there's anybody out there who's actually been messing around with it for longer than that, you know, feel free to, you know, shout me out, you know, put something in the chat or what have you. Actually, before I do that, so let me actually talk to you real quick. We have a special advantage, if you will. I think it's a special advantage. So I talked to Willis today. If you don't know who Willis is, everybody's probably like, who the hell is that guy? African Emporium. We haven't had him on this channel for several months, but he is a mentor within WeTradeHQ. He's been trading with TradeNet for 2 years, and just so happens that he joined a team WeTradeHQ today. He was going to do his own thing, kind of like what he's done in the past. So I reached out to him and I just said, hey, listen, I know that you're in TradeNet, you know, is there any way that you'd be interested in just kind of being a part of the team if you have a few folks on your end wanting to do that? And he said, yeah, sure, no problem. So what I would like to suggest that you do is reach out to Willis. Now, he's going to be going live every day, pretty much like he always does. But he's going to go live and help everybody with the TradeNet challenge as well. So what I'd like you to do, let me go to his channel. That way I can show it to you real quick. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull this up for you so you guys know exactly what to look for. So you guys can go subscribe to Willis. And just to give you, you know, a little shameless plug for Willis, he is a mentor on WeTradeHQ. In fact, he's the cheapest mentor on WeTradeHQ. And the guy is full of wealth and knowledge. He will talk your ear off, but we love him to death. I absolutely love Willis. He's a really great guy and just an excellent mentor, an excellent trader. So he's over here at African Emporium. His channel looks a little unorthodox, if I'm honest. It really does. So, but he's here. Let me go ahead and share the screen with you. So this is his channel. So African Emporium's got this cool little thing. He actually used to have his own, I think it was like a museum or something like that, and that's how his channel started. Obviously, you can see that Willis hasn't really updated it since then. I actually kind of like his little logo. I think this is pretty cool. But as you can see, he's already prepared for the World Series of Day Trading. And look at this. He's always repping WeTradeHQ. Do you see all these WeTradeHQ logos on here? Love it. I freaking love Willis. He's an amazing guy. But go check him out. Out of all of the mentors, out of anybody within the WeTradeHQ space, I'm going to trust his word more than anybody's. So please be sure to go check that out. And check him out and be sure to tune in with him. I just spoke with him this afternoon. He said he's going to be, oh shoot, am I not sharing the screen? Yeah, I'm sharing the screen, right? Thought I was. My camera's not on, so, okay. I saw Bob said share screen, so, but anyways, here's his, this is his channel. So go check him out, African Emporium. Okay, cool. So back to the platform. He's going to help us out. anybody has any questions about that. So back to the platform. The one thing that I didn't cover in the last video that I put out as it regards to the TradeNet platform itself is how to find out if your ticker can be traded on TradeNet. And so you can go to here. So when you first open up the platform, you can see this whole platform here. And we've kind of gone over this, but anyone who has any questions about how to place orders, I'll be more than happy to help you out with that as well. But the one thing that I wanted to show you is, because I know I have a lot of penny stock traders in here, is to go to the Trade Manager box. When you open up your platform, if you're not sure if if a specific stock is actually tradable, then go to the Trade Manager. You'll see under symbol here, and you can type in the ticker symbol that you're looking to trade. So let's just say Fran, for example. I know for a fact that one's not tradable. So you type in ticker symbol Fran, and this says, as indicated here, says N is tradable. No. And that's how you basically find out. And so let's just say I'll put an Apple, for example, and it says it is tradable, and it gives you the short size and all that good stuff. So really simple, easy way. And this might not seem like a big deal to a lot of you folks, but I think it's really good because it just kind of lets you know that yes, you can, or no, you can't. And that way you're not wasting time fumbling around up here trying to mess around with your order. Come to find out you got your order all set and ready to go. You push the buy button and you can't buy it. This way it allows you to find out whether or not you can buy it quickly, simple, and easily. And yeah, good stuff. So I thought that was a nice little tidbit of information to pass along to you guys. That way it just kind of helps you run a little bit more efficiently. TradeNet doesn't do options, John. So John, it's a good question. I think it's a valid question. Is that TradeNet, they trade CFDs, or contracts for difference. So their whole platform is contracts for difference. So you're not trading options. You're just trading the trade, or trading the price action straight up. But you actually don't own shares of any of that stock. So your price, your orders aren't going to influence the stock at all. You're not actually owning shares. It's contracts for difference. That's the most basic way that I can kind of like explain it to you, John. There's a lot of information out there on CFDs. I'm not going to get into a whole lot today, but that's basically the gist of what CFDs are. So if you decide to move forward with a TradeNet account, you want to go and get a funded account for yourself, or let's just say that you win one, which I hope you do. You can trade this, and it's going to be contracts for difference. It's always going to be contracts for difference. You're just trading the price action. So, honestly, if it doesn't matter to you if you're influencing the stock based off of your shorting ability or whatever, then it really doesn't matter. You can just trade the price action just as you always would. You're just going to trade it just like you would normally. And there's a lot of benefits, I think, that TradeNet has. There's been a lot of hearsay about whether or not they're legit. They have stuff going on, this, that, and the other. But honestly, for me personally, I have not had one issue with TradeNet. Do I wish they could trade certain things? Yeah, sure. But if you don't have more than one brokerage, then you should. And I've had several videos as to why I think you should have more than one brokerage. This just allows you an opportunity to leverage more money if you're just starting out. And honestly, I think that you could argue that you might end up risking less money by buying one of their packages than if you were to actually go out and do it on your own. You could risk $500, get their intro package, and you have $14,000 to trade with. And, then if you lose more than $700 of that $14,000, then you got to start over, Obviously, there's also a split that goes on. There's a profit split that goes on with TradeNet as well, and it all depends on which package you go with. If you have a lower end package, such as the intro package, your profit split that you split with TradeNet is going to be 75-25. So 75 of the profits you get to keep. TradeNet takes 25 of that, and so on and so forth as it goes up. 75-25, and then you go up. As your packages go up. So I think it's a good opportunity. I think it's a good opportunity for beginner day traders and even long-term day traders like Willis. Willis, makes a living trading with TradeNet. He's been doing it for 2 years. So if there's anybody that I'm going to trust, it's going to be Willis. Chuck, what's going on, man? Happy to see you made it. Um, uh, so anyway, paper traded buy low, sell high if I'm a beginner. Yeah, I mean, Tammy, you're just gonna trade like you normally would. You're gonna look at price action. You're gonna, make your decisions based off of how you would when you're making a regular old trade, and have that be that. Um, I would never trade with Robinhood. I mean, there's like I said, there's benefits and there's pros and cons to everything. This is just another opportunity for people to explore. That's kind of it. Um, and yes, Tex, that's a very good question. I guess Mark asked that question. I must have missed it. That's another important thing to point out. You can only trade with TradeNet during market hours. So no pre-market, no after-hours trading with TradeNet, period, during the competition or otherwise. I also want to point out, you cannot hold any position overnight or else you will be disqualified from the competition. Now, I went over this before, but I want to make sure that people understand they just want you to day trade and close out all your positions by the end of the day. If you hold anything over, then you will be disqualified. That's one big major thing. If you lose more than 5% of the $240,000, then you will be removed from the competition as well, which is $12,000. So if you go down below 12,000, you'll be disqualified. Is there any money size ticker? I don't know what you're trying to ask there, Alan. Oh, there's no limit to the amount of size. You can't lose more than $3,500 in any one trade. So even though you might not be below the $12,000 limit for the account in general, there he is. There's Willis. You can't lose more than $3,500 in a single trade. So if you're down more than $3,500, you'll be disqualified. What's up, Willis? Willis, I was just explaining to everybody and directing them to your channel earlier about you going to check them out and helping them throughout the challenge, because you've been trading with TradeNet for 2 years now. So obviously we're going to probably try to lean on you a little bit. So yeah, good stuff. But that's kind of the gist. I was just trying to go live just to make sure that I was answering everybody's questions. I didn't want to make this super long or drawn out or anything like that. I just figured if there was a way for me to just kind of like get a gauge of how everybody's doing, if anybody has any specific questions about what's going on with the challenge itself, that this is going to be the easiest way to do that. So I know this might not pertain to everybody who might be watching this, but this is just going to be the easiest way for me to do that. So, but yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I mean, you really, for me personally, I go back and forth between. Here's what I do. So if I'm trying to use a chart, I'll end up using I'll use my Thinkorswim chart, because I just think the way that the charts on Thinkorswim are just way better to read and easier to use. So I'll look through the chart to make my buying or selling decision, and then I'll just go back and make the trade. So I don't really even pay attention to this. You probably just get rid of it altogether. And you can just organize this however you want. You can move these windows around however you want. And then you can actually save this format. So if you like the format, you don't want to have to go back through and mess around with it each and every time. You just go up here to File, and then you can say Save Screen. And it'll save that. And you can just save it. And you just say yes, boom. And now that's my default screen from now on. So now I could just keep it just like that. Because I really don't care about the chart personally. I mean, it's just personal preference. I'm sure there's a lot of people that like the trading or the TradeNet charts, but I just prefer Thinkorswim. No, you can't trade penny stocks, Alan. There's no price limit beyond that. But you can't trade penny stocks. But yeah, no, there's no price limit. So Sure. No problem, man. All right. So if anybody um, has any other questions, I'll be happy to answer those for you. I don't know. It depends on the trade because Fran, like I said, Fran was trading more than $5. There's certain there's a certain amount of volume that if it's had less volume over a certain period of days, Alan, that falls under the criteria of like a quote unquote penny stock. So uh, it's not just $5 limit. It just depends, which is why I strongly suggest that if it ever comes into question, you could just come here to the trade manager box, type your ticker symbol in, and then it'll tell you whether or not you can trade it. That's the easiest way. Can you tell us what you'll be trade netting tomorrow? Good question. So I'll actually probably be looking to trade some of the bigger board stuff like Apple. That's kind of why I have it pulled up here. So I'll be looking to trade Apple to see if the market wants to come back. It looks like Apple started to creep back up here. I actually ended up shorting Apple on my regular TradeNet account on what day was that? Was it Friday? Yeah, it was Friday. I ended up shorting Apple on Friday. Made a nice decent trade there. Sold way too or covered way too early, but nevertheless made a decent trade. I was very happy with that. Today it started to look like it was creeping up a little bit, but the market all day today was pretty sideways. So I just look. Apple's a pretty easy chart to follow. You just look for decent levels of support and resistance, and you just go. Today we looked at Gush in the morning mentorship group. So if you guys aren't a part of that, the links are down in the description. I told my folks this morning because of the market volatility with oil as it related to oil, the oil crisis, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to label it, that it looked as if this area of support was at 454. If it came back down there, it probably would be a good price to get in at. And then later on in the day, it really started to settle around 476 and started to go back up to highs here at 537 and closed pretty high up at 525. You could look at something like that because it's going to create a lot more volatility in the market right now, either short or long side of it. JNUG was another one that we looked at, but that was, I think, pretty sideways. I didn't look to see how it did the rest of the day. Yeah, it just went sideways the rest of the day. A couple of other things that I was looking at. CLR was one that I traded today as well. CLR made a huge move. Jesus, it already went all up to $40. I traded it between $36 and $37.75. I thought that was a decent trade, and it just kept on going. Damn, that is crazy. What a trade for those who stayed in. But so CLR might continue to keep an eye on this one, and then just look for your earnings reports. If you guys want, I can. There's not much going on as far as earnings go this week. It looks like it's going to be a pretty slow week earnings wise. But yeah, if you want to follow along with me, I'll certainly be in the Discord chat, and I'll post my trades in the Discord chat. So if you guys aren't part of the Discord group, make sure you click the links down below. I'll be in the free, regular old Discord group throughout the day, except for between 9 and 10 a.m. when I'm with my mentorship folks. But yeah. Looks like Willis is looking for CBRL and APOG, so we can take a look at those. APOG. Those are the ones that have. Are those the ones that have earnings, or is this just ones you're watching? I guess. I think APOG does have earnings, if I'm not mistaken. This is how often I trade big board stuff, guys. I don't keep up with my earnings reports like I should, I guess. When you just used to trade penny stocks all the time. Those are the only earnings. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, yeah, 41. That one's at 41. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know. Keep an eye on them. Keep on your watch list. If they start moving a certain way, then you'll probably know how to play them accordingly. But right now I'm just focused on the overall market volatility. And, really today, the plays to be made were oil and gas plays. you could have made an argument for gold related plays too. There's a few outliers out there today, which I'm sure plenty of folks ended up making some decent money on. But overall, the market was kind of sideways looking. It wasn't great. So there you go. So Willis says he'll be going live on his channel tomorrow during the challenge, like he did during the last challenge. So if you guys are interested in having a place to hang out throughout the competition, check him out. So there you go. He'll be there. He'll be there to help you along the way. I think, it's, and Willis, I got to thank you, buddy, for being willing to help us out. I don't know if I got a chance to tell you this, but we are the largest unofficial group in the challenge. So, I think it's going to take a village here. So definitely happy to have you on our side. So thank you very much for helping out. Let's see. Okay. So he's sharing some knowledge there. So I have huge, so that secret will pass on to look for stocks that have nice ATRs and decent price points. So awesome. So there you go. Willis has all kinds of knowledge, man. He's always killing it. So one of our more underrated mentors, if you ask me. So yeah. That's going to be it, guys. Like I said, I just want to do a brief overview, get a Q&A going. Willis will be there to help us out as well. If you guys are interested in checking him out, again, go subscribe to his channel, and he'll help us out throughout the whole week as well. So, couldn't agree more, Alan. Couldn't agree more, buddy. But that's going to do it for me, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for wanting to be a part of the challenge. I hope that we crush it. I strongly feel that we will. And We Trade HQ will be on the map for the TradeNet challenge. So, thanks, guys, for tuning in. Be sure to go check out Willis. Go check out the Discord group if you're not in there already. We'll be there to help you there as well. And that is it for me. So, thanks, guys. See you tomorrow. As always, before the bell. Take care. Have a good night.